It's Wednesday, Klaus here. It's time for another basic Davinci Resolve tutorial.
Hello, Klaus here. It's Wednesday and time for yet another basic Davinci Resolve tutorial. In this episode, we're going to talk about removing stuff from your footage you don't want here. So I don't know if you remember back in the last season of Game of Thrones, where we had this classic scene where we in the background had a coffee mug from a not named brand in the shot, and that didn't fit into the time period that Game of Thrones were happening in. So inspired a little bit by that, we're going to remove my cup I put on the table and realized I didn't want it to be there. So there's a couple of ways we can do that. So let's first off just have a look at the clip here. Super duper. Let's remove the cup from the clip. So first method of doing this, we can do this actually in the edit page. So I'm going to select the clip, going up to the effects library, and then I go into the open effects, and I need to find my effects, which are under the Resolve effects reveal. And here I can use the patch replace them. I'm going to add that in. Something happened. Not necessarily what we wanted, but if we open up the inspector and go into the effects, we can have the different options here. And then we also need to go down here to this icon here and change this to Open Effects Overlay. So now we have the overlay. And here we have two different circles we can move around and place over things. Okay. So first up, we can there's different methods. Of course, we can do this adaptive blend. We can either clone or fast mask. But in this case, I think we could get away with just using the preset here. Also, we can change the shape from ellipse to, let's say, rectangle. I think that would be good. And then we're going to place that here, and we're going to find some spot. We can also make the area a little smaller, something like that. Perhaps we'll take from this area here. Then we have the patch precision, which we are now going to just put keyframes on all of them. And then we'll just move forward in the clip. And then, you know, we could move these up a little bit here. When we're here, it should be like there. Maybe it should be a little bigger as well. And then we just move again and do some small corrections throughout the clip. Of course, this would have been a lot easier if we had been on a tripod and not a handheld shot, but let's just take off this thing here. And now we have a look at the final result. And of course, you can see that I did this super fast, and I could have done a better job with moving the parameters for the positions, but this is just the basic idea of this effect anyway. So let's toggle this off. Of course, if we go into the color page as well, we could do the exact same trick with the replacer because it's also available in the color tab. However, if we go in and type objects, we have the object removal tool, which is were available in Davinci Resolve 16, and there's been several updates to this since. So well, let's have a look at how that actually works. First thing I need to do is actually to push Alt S to do another note. And then I'm going to do the correction here in the first note. And what I need to do is I'll just need to go in and take a curve mask here. And then I can zoom in and I'll draw a shape around my cup here. Just like that. And this is the important part of this thing, is to connect this blue line to the blue arrow here. And what that's doing, it's just going to take our mask and move our mask to the next node. And this is super important to do. Next thing, we need to take our object removal and put that onto our second node. Now that's on. And here we have all the parameters for the object removal. So first off, I can push this button here so I actually can see what I'm trying to mask out or remove from my shot. And I think this looks pretty good. So I'm just going to analyze, seeing if it was done on a tripod, for instance. You could tickle off here, and that would assume that there would be no motion, but I know there is motion in this anyway. So let's just fastly track our cup here. So Davinci Resolve is a pretty powerful system compared to other systems in this department of tracking. So I hope it will do a pretty good track now. At least we'll figure that out in just 1 second. So there we go. So now we have tracked everything. I'm just going to take this mask off. So now we have this gray spot in the middle of our frame we not necessarily do want. So we can build a clean plate to that. And okay, my mask was a little rough around the edges, so I can go in and change that. And go back to the mask here. And if you're not satisfied with what you did, you could do just another time here. I'm just going to, because this is a little too obvious. So again, changing the mask, and I'll go in to do the overlay again so I can see what I'm doing. I might want to make it a little bigger here around, so we are taking off the shadows that the cup is casting. But anyways, we are going to do a new analyzing of this thing, and now it's going to analyze the background yet again, and hopefully it will do a better job than for the first time. Again, it is a super fast process to do this, and you can do this, of course, with things like people and cars and whatnot, but I was doing this with a cup for, yeah, basically just for the fun of it. So now we have done this exact same thing again. We're going to put in a new built clean plate. And sometimes, as you see, it doesn't do a super great job at it, but mostly it does actually. So I'm just going to reset what I did, and I'll do the exact same thing yet again, but I'm going to spare you the time, and I'll just show you the result instead. But the process has been exactly the same. So by the way, if the tracking you did is a little bit irritating, you can actually also just track the mask you just did in the first note. So just do a circle around or whatever, and then just go to the beginning of the clip, put in the mask and track forward. Like that, and then you could make the mask a little bit smaller if you want to, and then you do the exact same thing as before. Okay, so here we have the effect itself, and again, it is a nice thing to know how to remove stuff from your image you do not want there. There is also other ways of doing this, but we will have a look into that, I think, in a later video. Anyway, I do hope you found this video useful. If you did, please hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, share it with your friends if you think it would help them out, and if you want to be notified every time there's a new video on this channel, please hit that bell icon down in the corner. Until next time, keep filming, keep learning, and keep sharing.